Guitar players, what inspired you to want to start playing guitar? Was it you like music and you've got a lot of favorite bands and you thought it would be cool to be able to play the songs that you hear? Was it because you wanted to stimulate uh, your creative side? Did you see something that inspired you to want to pick up an instrument and learn how to play? Those are all things that I think people lose touch of as they get older and progress in their playing career. I think we forget why we chose to want to play guitar. So there's a lot of people on YouTube that are really great players. There's a lot of people on there that are just learning out. They're just learning how to play. Um, and a lot of players learn by watching. Some players can't. Some people have to be, shown note for note exactly how to play, and that's completely fine. We've all been there. But I've started noticing that it's some of the more mature players that have some talent. They're not good people. They go on other people's websites, they go on other people's pages, and they leave rude, nasty comments. That's not what musicianship is about. Musicianship is about encouraging people, uh, helping. No matter the skill level, if you're a complete pro or someone who's just learning, it makes no difference. We're all capable of being good humans to each other. But some it's hard for some, and I'm not sure if that's a jealousy factor or if it's who you are inside as a person. But when you see those type of things, don't be afraid to call it out. Especially if you're a player that's just now learning how to play, because that kind of stuff can frustrate you big time. Uh, I was fortunate enough to grow up around a lot of really good musicians who were a lot older than I was at the time when I started playing. And the one thing that they all had in common was encourage. They would show you things. They would say things like, "Man, you're really getting good. You're getting a lot better. You're practicing a lot. I can tell. Just keep up the good work. Keep your nose to the grindstone, and you're going to come out on top." Those kinds of interactions with other players, especially players that are really, really good on a professional level, to someone who is not as proficient at their craft, those are compliments that stay with them, that encourage them, that want those kinds of things help to keep someone very interested, because we know how frustrating it is when you're learning how to play guitar. Most people quit within the first year because they get bored and frustrated. There's so many people out there saying, you need to learn this, you need to learn that, you need to learn this. Well, everyone is different. Everyone has different expectations when it comes to learning and how fast they progress. Everyone has a different way of learning. Some people can learn by tabs. Some people can learn by watching. Some people have to be taught note for note. And those are all things that we've all been through as players. But I encourage you to keep learning. Don't stop learning. Music is one of those things where you're never going to master. Even the greats, Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Joe Bonamassa, those guys they were professional, obviously, but they never stopped learning. They just kept playing and kept playing and kept playing. And I'm not sure if they had to deal with, the clown comments, of things like that. And if they did, they probably just ignored it anyway, which is what you should do. But let's get back to the roots of why we wanted to start playing guitar. Guitar is one of the most amazing instruments out there to play and to learn. It's so complicated, but yet so easy. And as you get older, you'll understand that it is very complicated because there's so much to it. But you can make it easy for yourself on the path you choose of what you want to play. I don't think the world has enough great rhythm players. I think everybody sees all this lead guitar stuff out there like, I want to do that. Well, that's great. Everyone should learn how to do that. You should learn your scales and your modes and things like that. But you need to become a good rhythm player first. Establishing that rhythm background allows you to become a better player in time, but it also teaches you upbeat, downbeat, the one, or the drummer's one. We all know that. Or the bass player's one. You know, all of our ones can be completely different. But learning how to fit within those ones, that's the key. But I chose to play guitar because I was surrounded by musicians. My family, I come from a long line of guitar players and a lot of musicians in my family, professional level, touring musicians. I toured for a little while. You get older and you start having a family, you start having kids, and you decide that you just want to play for yourself. And that's the key. I think if more people played for themselves as opposed to playing something to get it out there on the internet for people to see, that's been lost. And I think it's a different generation. My generation, Gen X, I mean, we really grew up feral. We didn't grow up with the internet, so there was none of this validation-seeking stuff. So we learned to play because we wanted to play the song. We weren't rushing to go to show someone to seek those validation points. So stay grounded. Learn as much as you can. Become the best player you can be. Don't try to play and be someone else. Be who you are. That's the key. Authenticity in a world that's fake comes out on top all the time. People strive for authenticity. People love authenticity. You know, us players that have been around for a while, I think if we were in the time period, you know, as you guys, some of the younger players are, y'all have all of this technology at your fingertips. We didn't have that. You have YouTube, the platform, to show you things. We didn't have that. We had to go down to a record store, buy the record, or listen to the radio and just figure it out on our own. We didn't have that. Or we could buy tablets or books. But most of us, we didn't concern ourselves with tablature until we got older. Then we started learning how to read tabs and things like that. But get back to the roots of why you wanted to start playing. You know, I love music. Music is in me. I'm a creator. It has to come out. When I was younger, I thought it was so cool because I could play 3 chords. And I played those 3 chords, and I played them well because I played them all the time because that's all I knew. But I didn't have people there to teach me. You know, I had people there to catch me when I fell, but they only showed me certain things because they wanted me to be able to learn on my own. You know, hindsight's 2020. I wish they'd showed me a few things, but the road has been paved, and now I'm the player I am today. And I'm certainly not the best player out there, but you know, I've got a few chops, but I play from within. I'm a self-taught guitarist for the most part, so I feel like that. When you are self-taught, you learn what not to do more than you learn what to do. That's a teaching moment in itself. So I encourage you guys to stay positive. Some of you more professional, you know, level guitarists out there, stay encouraging to these younger guys. Don't piss on their parade. Don't tell them what they're not doing. And don't tell them that they're not doing something correctly. Tell them, keep up the good work. Encourage them. You know, we live in a world that's full of hate already. We don't need enough. We don't need any more of it. So be kind to your fellow musicians. Be kind to your fellow man. Share when you can. Give back always. And learn to be a good human. You know, being a musician, I say this all the time, being a musician is kind of the easy part, but being a good human is the hard part. But you have to strive for that every day. You have to go into every day looking for opportunities and think of everything as a learning experience. So I encourage you younger players to just keep playing, just keep learning as much as you can. But always know that music will always be there for you. Humans, not so much, but music will always be there for you. And you can take that and you can store it and store that energy and know that you'll always have music to fall back on in rough times. Music's got me through a lot of stuff. It's got me through a lot of things in my life. Some of which I probably would have not been here on this planet if it wasn't for music to save me. So I encourage you, keep going. Peace out.